to start off here, we'll start off with the bands. So for Downfall's bands, we've got Border, Bank, and Coastline. And do you want to say ViewSonic's bands are, Dev?
Why don't you go ahead and say them?
For ViewSonic's bands, we've got Cafe, Chalet, and Skyscraper. Which then will leave us with Oregon being picked by Downfall, Clubhouse being picked by Darksided, and the decider will be Consulate. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, obviously, we've got some... Like, one of the things I want to talk about most is Downfall's first ban, and that's Border. That's a crazy ban. Like, Border and Oregon have got to be the number 1 and 2 maps at the moment in the Pro League, pretty much internationally. Everyone loves those maps, and if you enter in a Best of 3 without seeing either of those maps, something's a little bit funny. And, you know, Downfall picking that up straight away, it shows that they obviously don't want to take on ViewSonic Darksided on that map. Now, Downfall's other bands, Bank and Coastline. Coastline, nothing to be surprised about. Honestly, most teams will pretty much guarantee that there's going to have a Coastline ban and a Skyscraper ban, and we did see both of those. Obviously, ViewSonic Darksided banning out Skyscraper, and Downfall's last ban was actually on Bank. Now, Bank's an interesting one because so many teams are really good at it and a lot of teams don't want to touch it. And I feel like here what we're seeing is Downfall saying, look, we know that at least former Corvidae players are incredibly comfortable on Bank and we don't really want to take them there. And if it's not a confident map for you, then it seems perfectly reasonable to ban it from my perspective.
Yeah, 100%. Completely agree with everything you just said there. We actually do believe have Downfall now finally hopping in the lobby. So we should get this match underway very soon. As we said, the first map will be Oregon. Who do you think will take this map? It is
Oregon's
obviously Downfall's pick.
Yeah, it's going to be very closely contested. Downfall are quite strong in Oregon, have been for a very long time, dating back to the Zeronic days. I do remember they were kind of known for their performances on Oregon. However, recently with all these roster changes, I don't know whether they've maintained that integrity on that specific map. And I really feel like since it's such a well-played map, everyone knows how to play Oregon. And this is one that I think could go either way. And I'm sure that ViewSonic are probably fairly happy with it being Downfall's map pick.
Yep, I completely agree there. Obviously, the next map we'll have will be Clubhouse, which is Darksided. Who do you think will claim the ground there?
Honestly, I was talking, I think it was before Monkey Fist mentioned that, you know, he's surprised Downfall is actually letting Clubhouse through the ban phase because ViewSonic are quite strong on Clubhouse, at least so we believe. So, you know, I feel like that one is definitely going to be favored inside of Dark. So honestly, I think Downfall actually have their work cut out for them coming into the first 2 maps. The third map being Consulate. Once again, it's a map Corvidae likes. Former Corvidae players did like. And obviously, this team, the Sonic Darksided, being so heavily made up of Corvidae players, former Corvidae players, that's going to be a big influence on the outcome of that match. We've seen Consulate performances from these players that are just fantastic. Winning back on the LAN, the APAC Season 3 finals versus all of the other APAC teams there, the strong big hitters. Obviously, I believe New Life was taken down by Corvidae, and Warden, Jack Daddy, and Fletch were all there at the LAN and all competed in that event, and Consulate was one of the maps that they won at that event.
Yeah, 100%. Again, we're finally getting in Downfall's roster into the lobby here. We're still awaiting on 2 players, so hopefully we'll have the match underway very soon. There's honestly not much that needs to be said. I feel that here, I guess we'll say it was Clarence that is having the technical issues. Clarence no doubtably is a star player for Downfall.
Absolutely.
And I feel that if he isn't going to be in this matchup, that could make a huge difference.
I definitely agree with that statement. Clarence has been known in the community way back, like I mentioned, obviously, Downfall's journey through its various teams and renditions. Visit White. Visit White was a team captained by Clarence, and Clarence was kind of known for being the identity of Visit White. But forward on into Zeronic, Clarence has always been this incredibly driving force, basically just an incredibly strong fragger. And, if Clarence is doing well, then the team's doing well. But that works both ways. If Clarence is not fragging out hard, I believe that the tilt, the psychological effect comes in, and it dampens the whole team. So I think that's really something you've got to watch out for. If you have one particular player on your team who is the star, you've got to make sure that if they're not, if any player isn't fulfilling their expectations of themselves, you've got to keep going some way. And I feel like if Clarence isn't in this matchup, I feel like that's just a given that's going to happen. That we're going to have some of this psychological effect on the remainder of the team, and obviously whoever they decide to have as their substitute.
Yeah, I'd say probably the first sub they'd pick would be Matt Storm, as he's obviously their coach slash manager. But yeah, no doubtably that if Clarence can't make this matchup tonight, there is going to be a huge difference. I think I'd already, I guess we can move on to predictions now. I'd already sort of, even though we saw them beat them a few weeks ago, I'd already sort of had my money on ViewSonic Darksided, and I feel with Clarence not being there, it's not going to help them at all.
Look, Downfall have been an incredibly strong team for a long while, and recently, like you've said, ViewSonic has actually not really fulfilled, not having a go at ViewSonic, but they haven't really fulfilled the expectations of the community when the team was announced and the new roster was announced. Obviously, former Corvidae player Wildman stepped down from the team due to some real life commitments. And so I feel like ViewSonic didn't have that establishment that they needed. But now things like the tables have turned. Downfall is looking like potentially to be the one in a weaker position. Just looking at the screen, we've got ViewSonic all in the lobby and on a united front. Downfall of still having issues. Obviously, why don't we talk a little bit about the new roster changes within Downfall? Obviously, we've got Catavase, who is former Corvidae manager, Vicious, who is a former player from Medusa, and Nazgul, who is a former player from Dead Set.
Yep. Yeah, all of them very new players. I'm pretty sure the reason this change was made was so that they could compete in this very cup, because previously they were an under 18 team. Obviously, Kata over 18,
yep.
Nazgul over 18, and who's the last one? Vicious over 18. I'm pretty sure they're all over 18, which obviously makes them compatible here. I feel that they're not going to be as strong as before.
Yes, they had such a good team synergy going with their former roster. Obviously, Clarence, Luca, Casper, Midnight, and who's the one I'm forgetting? Dino. They just had a really strong team synergy. Their roaming synergy was very strong, and they were all incredibly strong fraggers. And not to say that Nazgul, Vicious, and Catavase aren't as strong fraggers, but it's quite a big step, honestly. When you change 60% of your roster.
Like, you can't expect for, even, let's just say theoretically that Kata, Nazgul, and Vicious are better fraggers than the previous counterparts, they're still not really going to be fitting into that spot in the limited time that they've had to adapt to the team. Yeah,
and it's been such a short time. Honestly, I learned only about this within the last week, that this roster change. And how many scrims / matches / practice sessions have you managed to do in a week? How many strats have you managed to kind of evaluate and teach the new players? And it's even more complicated than that. You can't necessarily just take, say, for example, a strategy that does work incredibly well for a previous roster and say, all right, Catavase, you're going to be Dino, Vicious, you're going to be Midnight, and Nazgul, you're going to... You can't do that. It doesn't translate because individual playstyles are different. What might work for one player might not work for another player. And it's a massive gamble. But, you got to admire Downfall's their dedication to the scene and to becoming a strong team, because they are a strong team and they have been competing with these top level teams even when made up entirely out of under 18 underage players. And the fact that they received this invite to the ANZ Cup based on their willingness to adapt and change their roster shows this immense dedication that they have to be the best.
Yeah, 100%. Again, completely agree with everything there. We now have another player in the lobby, so hopefully we will have this match underway in the next 5 minutes. Let's just pray that that's going to be the case. And again, Clarence still is not in the lobby, so it really tells me that we are going to be seeing a sub here tonight.
Yes, well, it won't be long until we're underway and we will be able to actually see this for ourselves. Yes, it's going to be an interesting matchup. But, the map bans, I think, along with, the recent, the difficulties with some of the roster and the recent roster changes, honestly, ViewSonic are looking to be the stronger team.
Yep, 100%. Completely agree. As we can see now, everyone is in the lobby, guys, and we will be getting underway here.
So, for everyone who's just joined us, welcome to the ANZ Cup run by ESL in partnership with Rainbow Six ANZ. Welcome to Playday number 1. This is the first match we have for you. Downfall versus ViewSonic Darksided here on Oregon in a best of 3. I am Dev Mata, and Sky, let's take it away.
Yeah, this should be an absolutely awesome matchup here. So we do see Redolent, who will be subbing in here for Downfall. It's not Matt Storm, as I predicted, but nevertheless, Redolent, I'm not too familiar with him. I've heard of him before, and I know he's a pretty good player. But is he going to be a counterpart for Clarence?
Well, straight up, what I can tell you is, from my knowledge of Downfall, you can see Luca is playing the Ashe. Now, Clarence is the Ashe main on Downfall, and Luca typically picks up that Hibana. Obviously, Luca a very strong fragger, so picks an operator that has utility, isn't just an Ashe main, but still has that incredible fragging capability. So Luca is actually switched over to that Ashe, so it shows that they don't necessarily have the same confidence in Redolent as they did in Clarence to be that Ashe main. So immediately we're having a shift of roles here, and I feel that could really have a negative effect. Obviously, this team isn't used to interacting in this way. Maybe Luca is not used to calling for people to drone for him the way that Clarence is, and it's just going to make it a whole lot harder for Downfall.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, we already see here meeting hall is being reinforced here, and obviously it looks like ViewSonic seem to be completely underway here.
This is a really interesting setup, particularly this bit right here, what we're seeing from Fletch, opening up the walls of Classroom. Typically we see that Classroom wall reinforced because, of course, if you actually open up the bottom of that wall and the hatch, you can get a nice angle all the way into Laundry, but they're actually opening up that wall, in my theory, probably to make any player who plays in that position or near that position a little bit more exposed, particularly from the hard meeting hold and that mirror, as we can see. Nazgul here on the Glaz is going to be taking out that default cam, and wow, Luca doing Clarence proud, getting into the building very soon, only 30 seconds down, and it looks like he's going to be ashing open this cast barricade. No, that was actually intended to take out some barbed wire, I believe.
Or possibly the person that was even droned out and he was just going for some cheeky early damage. But who knows, we'll soon find out. Do you think that obviously Luca isn't generally on the Ashe? Do you think he's going to... Obviously, I'd say here they're going to be slotting Redolent into the easiest possible role to adapt to.
Yep.
And everyone else will be taking on the harder roles. Obviously, they're already technically on the team here.
Luca is a fantastic fragger, and I think he's going to fit into that Ashe role well. However, you've got big shoes to fill with Clarence, and Luca is so used to and so good at playing the role that he's used to playing as a Hibana, and now he's having to transition off that. That's got to keep, take a lot on your mind. I also don't quite know who the in-game leader is / has been for Downfall, whether that was Clarence. Ooh, Spas there gets the first kill onto Nazgul. I believe that was from the hallway, and that is Glaz down so early. You're not going to be able to do your smoke and plan. Cheeky peek through the smokes now. That's quite a big pick to be had in the first minute and 15 of the round. Yeah,
certainly. That's a really big kill there, and that's going to assist ViewSonic very heavily. There is a bit of damage being done, and especially here with Jack Daddy. We're past the halfway point. Jack Daddy's still on the roam. Really, at this stage, Downfall just do not look too coordinated at all.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. As you can see, Redolent's still standing outside, not sure what to do. Vicious just sitting here, not really going to do anything by doing that. Oh, wow, and there you go, the pick comes out from Attic. Jack Daddy takes down Luca, and that is the Ashe main down. And now we're entirely... Look, we're talking about a team where there's only one player on the team who was part of the roster a week and a half ago, and that's Luca. And he's having all this weight on his shoulders. Maybe he was one of the shot callers in the past, and now he's converting to an Ashe role. And it's much harder to be a shot caller on that Ashe roll. Now we have the last two remaining players for Downfall just going to be funneling down this main stairs. And we've got two players on the flank, and they have complete eyes into meeting through that mirror.
Nice kill from Redolent onto Jack Daddy, however. Very good stuff out of him. That's going to even the things out. I mean, not even the things, but that's going to even the tides out a little bit here. The C4 goes out. Sorry, not the C4, the smoke. No. That's going to just deny them. These smoke grenades are going to be absolutely pelted towards the stairs, and it does not look possible at this stage, as we do see Hibana getting down. Spaz gets a 2K onto Vicious and Redolent, and that will be round number 1, the very first round of the ANZ Cup, going over to ViewSonic Darksided.
Honestly, they're Redolent and Nazgul didn't know there was nothing they could do there in that position. I mean, they were both lit to about 50 HP or less. They had smokes, gas babes to walk through, and there was surely more still in that nice snug holster behind that mirror in the pocket of smoke. And of course, two players above flanking from meeting. Obviously took out one, but still there's still players up there. One in the laundry, one in the hallway. There's no way you can deal with that with 2 players in 10 seconds to go. And yeah, dropping the hatch was really a fruitless attempt.
Yeah, again, they just look really uncoordinated at the minute. Again, I'd really expect in this position for Luca to be the in-game leader. As you said, he's the only player that was on this roster a week and a half ago. So I really would think that he's just trying to steer these guys along, tell them what to do. I think what he needs to do is maybe play a bit more of a laid-back role, maybe like a Blackbeard, sort of sit back a little bit and coordinate everyone, rather than playing that really aggressive Ashe. But who knows? Time will tell.
I definitely know Nazgul is capable of being that, that entry fragger, as we can see, playing on a fragging role right now with that Ella. Ella is the ultimate fragging role, and so, I feel like maybe having Lucas stay on his Hibana, having Nazgul play on the Ashe, and maybe then bringing Redolent onto the Blackbeard, I feel like maybe that would be the best choice of action. Yes, a Blackbeard is a passive role that, may be good for an IGL, but also with a Blackbeard, you don't get a lot of time to kind of drone. A lot of your time is spent holding angles. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, really aggressive play here out of Warden on the Kappa Tower. He's already made his way in. We're not even 30 seconds into the round, and he has got some very decent map control below. And they've also got a Yink, so this tells me they might be going for a main window plant here. Maybe get controller below, buck up, just see what comes from that.
Yeah, this take is quite a good one. It's kind of not really regarded as a straightforward take. The 2 typical straightforward takes, of course, are B windows and a master bedroom. If they're going for what I believe they're going for, which looks to be a big window take, it's not as clear cut as either of those. You still have to dismantle the anchor positions though, and that'll primarily come down to buck from below. And wow, Luca rounds the corner, but Spaz finds his head. A fantastic shot from Spaz, and that is Luca down once again at 5 versus 4 with still 2 minutes to go on the clock. ViewSonic Darkside looking incredibly strong going into this round. A really great start for them.
Spaz should not have won that gunfight. Luca was in such a great position to do something. Didn't manage to pull it off. We see Warden here getting tagged up quite heavy, however, from Kidstorms. Luckily, he's not going to die from that, but that could have been very quickly evened out.
We see we have Nazgul still in Big Tower, preparing for the flank. Obviously, I do believe they have a rotate hole into the attic from this side, so he will be able to execute his flank back if they decide to do a master bedroom take, which does appear to be what they're doing right now. I don't know. Looks like Warden is going to be going here for the reset quickly. We've got players coming down to open him up, to revive him, and as we can see, opening up the armory wall that will allow them to get a nice angle all the way down the hallway. There's still these anchor positions to dismantle, though. Vicious is still safely inside of small dorms.
Yeah, they're still just sitting here nice and snug. Nazgul's on the flank. I do not like the chances here for ViewSonic Darkside. They've got time, but they really need to get a move on. Like, only 50 seconds, that's not much time.
Honestly, I really feel like that the master bedroom take, switching to it from a big window take, definitely not the right choice.
Yeah, certainly not. Now they've only got 40 seconds. Like, this is not much time at all. They need to get a bloody move on. We see Warden here. Smokes are going out. Warden's going to be defending from the window. Then the whole choke has just been smoked off. That's such a big issue. Like, they can just smoke that choke off now. Nazgul from behind finds 2.
Wow. Oh, wow. No way.
3.
No way.
Yep, and that is just...
Oh,
that should not happen.
They should have been able to dismantle the players in there. It's now all up to Spaz. He's found the first kill of this round. Does manage to find the second one now. Pulls out the pistol. 7 seconds to go. There's one hard left, and the shotgun finishes off Spaz. And wow, so much went wrong for ViewSonic in that round. So much.
I mean, it looked good. Where they went wrong was they wasted way too much time. They changed their push around halfway through, which wasn't a great idea. And then they just weren't watching for the roamer. Like,
yeah,
it's just...
Honestly, the push that they decided to go for a push, which was not favourable in that current position. They decided to go for it anyway, and then they did it badly. They didn't watch the flank, which allowed Nazgul to get, what was it, a 4K, I believe? Or a 3K or something ridiculous. And then, not to mention... Nico couldn't open up the small dorm's wall into from master bedroom in order to flush out the smoke and put pressure onto the mirror, and that was just because there were batteries on it. And so why didn't they just get Spaz to go below and open up the floor directly where Fletcher's standing right here and open up the batteries? But there was just so much delay, and nothing really came out of all of their attempts to get things going.
Yeah, and in my opinion, that push should never, ever, ever be attempted unless you're going to open up the master bedroom wall, which is something they did not do. It's just not viable.
100%.
You can't funnel through that little hallway. If they've got a smoke and you've got 20 seconds, you're not going to win that round straight up. Doesn't matter. You just can't funnel through that.
You're watching angles from, say, near big window in the big dorms. You're watching from kids' dorms. You're watching from the mirror at the top of white stairs, and you're watching from people who are nice and snug inside of small dorms itself. You could at least try and put some pressure on them from the opposing window on the north side, but they didn't even try and do that. Honestly, it was just a poorly executed push. No doubt coming about from the fact that they changed their mind and they weren't quite sure what to do, and perhaps not as prepared to deal with such a heavy roam game and, for example, attic being open.
Yeah, certainly. They were not prepared for that whatsoever. Now on round number 3 here, we're going to see if Downfall... I would say that round was very dominant in my opinion for Downfall. So we're going to see if they're going to keep that up or if ViewSonic will have a very dominant round like they did in the first round. We'll see what happens here. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look... I don't want to say it doesn't look great, but just... I can't get over how bad that was simply from Darksided. Yeah, no, not to be too savage or anything, but that really was quite a disappointment. Moving on here, we've only seen defense wins so far. We saw obviously ViewSonic win their basement defense as their primary site, and then Downfall win theirs on dorms, and that's what we're seeing right now. ViewSonic defending dorms. Interesting that they've been immediately flushed out of that position on the white stairs mirror, but we do have, as you could see earlier, Jack Daddy still roaming inside of a big tower, and that could have a severe impact on how Downfall managed to take this. As we can see, Downfall shaping up to do the exact take we saw attempted by ViewSonic, but this time a little bit more success may be coming out. Nico is going to get pushed out very soon, but no, he's going to get incredibly aggressive. There's a Claymore. The Claymore wasn't put down correctly, and Redolent does punish Nico for that aggression that I would definitely expect out of a player like that. Warden missing the smoke bay.
Wow.
I think he missed it again.
Oh no.
He needs to get this down player to try and even it out a little bit. Is he going to get him? It doesn't look like it. Luca's going to get away. Spaz makes sure to take him down. Nice stuff from him. Fletch with a kill onto Kata. This is really nice stuff. And now we've got people pushing up from behind. Nazgul with the reply, however, is going to try even things out onto Spaz. 1 minute to go. This is still certainly doable here for Downfall. Or Nazgul's going to be looking... he might catch Mirror off here, which is obviously Fletch. He should get the kill here. Nope. Fletch is going to widen. He gets 2. Beautiful stuff from Fletch. It's all up to Vicious here as he finds one onto Warden, but it's a 1v2. Nazgul, oh no, this is doable. This is really scary here.
Nazgul should not have fallen to that Claymore. He's just thrown the round advantage for his team. There's still plenty of time for Nazgul to rotate, grab diffuser out of small dorms, and now we have Fletch going to be attempting to use the holes from below. If he has a C4, he could deny, but the main problem he's going to face is information. There is a Valkyrie. They may be able to call out where he is, but he's not going to be able to go for the C4 in time. He's not looking in the right spot, and the plant's going to get down. Now Blackbeard versus a Mirror. Fletch absolutely has his work cut out for him. Vicious with a huge advantage. Fletch, he's just going to pre-C4 a typical spot, completely reveal his position and gain nothing from it with only about 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that's a real shame to see ViewSonic lose this round here. It looked good for both teams at the start, but then they just threw it away. Obviously, Nico pushing on Valkyrie, completely unnecessary. As you see there, Vicious going to claim the round there. It's just... And then the Claymore at the end, I can't remember who the Claymore got. No. But you don't need to push in that situation. Like, it's just dumb.
I do believe Nazgul was actually attempting to push back up the lobby stairs. There was a Claymore I saw placed there. And, you know, 2 versus 1, you got to take every precaution. And yeah, you wouldn't necessarily expect a Claymore there, but still, you've got to take every precaution.
Yeah.
Sorry, when I said Nazgul, I believe that was Vicious... Maybe. Sorry, not Vicious. Nico. Obviously, it was ViewSonic who was on the defense.
Alright, moving on now. We've got, not Downfall, Darksided going below here. Again, they did previously win this. Cicada's going, oops, should have left the bottom on. They have got a Twitch here, so that could be a bit of an... I keep thinking Kata and Darksided, because obviously we talked a bit about the storyline there, but Kata used to be the coach of Corvidae, which is the previous iteration of Darksided, but not anymore.
Yeah, Kata actually was the manager for the organization as well, the organization Corvidae. And yeah, very involved with the team. Whenever I met Corvidae, whether it was at any of the lands, Kata was always there and supporting the team. So he's got a very much personal connection to all of these players, you know, Jack Daddy, Fletch, and Warden in particular.
Yeah, certainly. And it's going to be really interesting to see who comes out on top of this round, as Downfall looking to get themselves here a third round to make it a 2-round lead. Again, Jack Daddy checking the top of Big Tower. That's what you need. You need to take every precaution here, because if ViewSonic Darksided lose this round, that's when things get scary.
Yeah, 3-1 deficit is not where you want to be. Last time we saw ViewSonic Darksided's attack was on upstairs. This time they're going to be attacking downstairs, starting out by just clearing the west side roam. Wow, Jack Daddy should not have been allowed to get away with that. And that, Kata, is why you must make sure that you correctly make the rotate hole with a little bit at the bottom so that Twitch drone cannot get through. Obviously, Twitch drones cannot jump. So it's a nice little technique that people have figured out in order to protect their mirrors. Unfortunately, Vicious is going to be sitting behind a reinforced wall with a gigantic hole in it.
Yeah, that's not what you want at all, but at the same time, it's not, although it's not what you want, and it's certainly not preferred at all, at least he's got a hole to easily chuck a smoke grenade through, if worst comes to worst. Pre-fire here, Bandit seems to be pushing up the stairs here. Oh no, up the stairs. Luca just playing really aggressive here, trying to get a pick. I like this from Luca, again.
If it works,
yeah. I like it. If it doesn't, maybe not.
And it's a tough gamble, but look at that. Well, great read from, I don't know quite who that was.
Spaz.
Up there. I believe that was Spaz. Yeah, great read from Spaz. Spaz has been doing incredibly well. Spaz has kind of, you know, been a little bit retired from the comp scene for a little while now. It's great to see him returning, especially with such a strong performance so far. And in all the matches we've seen so far, look at that. Jack Daddy using these Twitch drones. He's actually completely out of tasers before. As you can see, the Twitch nerf coming into effect. He's taken out the ADSs, though. He's done his job. And Nazgul's still at the top of Big Tower. This flank could make some difference, but they've got to do it now. Vicious has to nail these smokes, or else ViewSonic Darkside are going to be able to plant for free. And look at that! The smoke completely misses. The C4 misses. Nico's going to get the plant down. Nazgul needs to be flanking right now. Kata's going to run straight on through the smoke. He's going to go in between two of them, and a trade there. Vicious finally takes out Nico with the smoke. And we've got to have, looks like Nazgul has been taken out on the flank, and Warden finally takes out Redolin. It's up to Vicious, and there you go, a little trade comes out. Great refrag from Fletch, and that is another round for ViewSonic.
Beautiful stuff from them there. I was going to say, getting a little bit scared. We saw how brutal Nazgul was last time on Ella. Took down 3 or 4 of them. Certainly didn't want that to happen again, but luckily Darksided are going to save themselves there and equalise to bring the scoreline to 2-2.
Excellent execution there from Darksided, and mistake after mistake from Downfall. You can't really hammer, for example, the smoke there. It's an incredibly difficult job to nail those smokes, particularly if you've lost your mirror and you have no sight lines, because they have obviously just thrown their own smoke grenades to completely mess up your vision.
Yeah, 100% here, timer counting down. Now on round number 5 here, we are going to have oh my, what am I on about? I'm completely out of it tonight. ViewSonic are going to be going downstairs, but they previously won, so I guess I've got to say I sort of expect them to win this, and they won it very dominantly actually. So
yeah, again,
I'd sort of expect the same from them, which would then bring us to 3-2, but I'm not sure. We'll see what Downfall's got in the bag here.
And it looks like Downfall, they weren't listening into my advice. They have actually retained Luca on the Ash. Nazgul is going to be playing the Twitch, however. Nazgul was the one we were saying who's probably should be one of the main fragging roles. And playing a Twitch, I mean, his goal is to get rid of, ADSs, batteries, and primarily the mirrors, but also Twitch is a fragger just because she's got that amazing gun, that F2.
Yeah, exactly. Redolin here moving in on the Hibana. Getting the cams taken down. A lot of them actually spawned over at Junkyard, 4 of them to be exact. We've got Nazgul here going in on the Twitch drone. It'll be interesting to see how successful he's going to be on that.
Yep, obviously spawning a Junkyard is a great idea because you've got to clear out all of the west side, and it's the best place to clear out west side is by starting on the west side. Now, talking about Nazgul there, he's going to be playing that Twitch, primarily trying to get out these mirrors. And the problem is, there are 2 ways of looking at it. Either you've got to get your Twitch drone in there early because you've got to actually help the rest of your team fulfill your fragging role. But also, the earlier in the round the defenders are expecting the Twitch drones. Now he's going to have to go through this barbed wire. He's playing incredibly slowly. He does not want to lose this. He's not actually going to be popping that first one.
Oh, no.
I don't think he's going to get spotted here. And look at that. Very unfortunate. Warden doesn't manage to see that. And we've seen quite a few successful Twitch plays so far. Popping that front mirror really makes a huge difference. As we saw last round, Vicious completely affected Vicious's smoke throws.
It's sort of getting silly at the moment. Like, it's happening that often that they need to be ready for it. Like, and yet these teams, they still are like, they're not leaving the top of like the, what do you call it, the right side on. They keep breaking that whole thing. They need to be a lot more cautious of these Twitch drones, because that can change the tide of a round.
Absolutely, and even perhaps putting in just a bandit charge in that piece of barbed wire that the Twitch drone had to go through, that would mean that the Twitch would have to actually expose themselves. Oh wow.
Spaz
no way.
There.
Nazgul on his drone up there. He could have been incredibly unlucky there. Nazgul trying to get his drone inside of meeting, but no, it gets taken down. He's all out of drones now. He's just going to have to rely on that F2 to have an impact on this round. And look at this, Nico and Fletch still soundly holding the meeting hole. And it looks like Downfall just going to try and attempt their plant despite that.
Yeah, certainly. Again, I feel you should probably try and cope with that. And Luca seems to be the person doing so, as well as Kata here. Fletch gets a nice kill onto Kata. That's going to be a one-man advantage here. Luca going in for the swift reply. Gets it onto Fletch. It's a 4v4. Nazgul going in. They're just trading out player for player. Ooh, Vicious takes down Spaz. Quick reply from Warden.
Wow, and now Vicious gets injured as well. Nazgul finds one onto Nico. It's a 2 versus 2 as Vicious gets taken down by Warden's gas. 2 versus 2, the smoke is still alive. Jack Daddy also has this position down here in the hallway. Don't know how many gas cans Warden does have, but these guys are going to have to pick up the diffuser. Warden finds one, Warden finds a second one. Fantastic shot, fantastic headshot there onto Nazgul. Closes out the round for ViewSonic.
Warden showing why he's probably one of the top 10 players here in ANZ. He is an absolutely phenomenal player when he's playing at his best.
By that, do you mean when he's not throwing grenades at cameras?
Look, alright, Dev. Do you want me to read out a list of your mistakes? Everyone makes mistakes.
For those who don't know, previous LAN, Warden had a fantastic grenade throw. Misclick onto one of the cameras. It was quite hilarious. We caught it on the stream as well. We definitely would recommend going and finding that. It's nice to throw a little bit of shade at these guys sometimes, just because we love them so much.
Yep, certainly. And here, if Darkside had come away with this round, that would then bring them onto match point, and that's a really scary factor for Downfall to consider. I can't quite remember, but who picked this map? Was it Downfall?
Downfall.
It was Downfall. So Downfall certainly expecting to come into this and win this map, but at this stage it doesn't look to be the case. Again, it's not too far off, but we really have to see how things pan out. And this is also the one that this defense is the one Downfall won so dominantly. So I'm hoping that we're going to see something different here out of Darksided.
We need to see a more decisive push from Darksided, and a more effective push. Honestly, I really feel like going for the master bedroom push with their style that they tried to execute it. Not a good idea. Downfall love roaming, and they're going to flank you and they're going to punish you for that. I want to see a big window plant. That's basically what I want to see them. I want to do a big window plant, and I think that they should. They don't even have a buck this time. Wow, are they expecting to be attacking downstairs?
Possibly, I'm not sure, but they've got a Thatcher and Thermite, which tells me they're going to try the same thing, but open the closet this time. I'm still not a massive fan of them trying the same thing, but at least they're going to open the closet.
Look, at least they have a Thatcher this time, EMP, those batteries, they're not going to have to worry about that. I like this. I believe that is Fletch on the big tower roof, shooting in through into kids' dorms. But there are quite a few anchor positions here that they're going to have to dismantle. For example, Luca and Vicious playing at the top of White Stairs, and that's a difficult position to dismantle if you don't have a buck going below.
Yeah, or even someone pushing behind. It looks like they're pretty dominantly pushing this side of the map as well. You need to have at least, I reckon, 2 people putting pressure from behind.
Yeah, and we actually have a rappel here on the south side. Interesting kind of place to rappel. That window doesn't really get utilized a lot due to the fact that there are not many angles it can hold. Now, Spaz is thinking of thermiting this in just a moment. Thermiting this wall is quite risky. If you open up an angle too far to the right, then someone sitting in kids' dorms can actually shoot all the way into Master and cut you off and get a cheeky little pick. Now, it looks like he's going to be thermiting a little bit more to the middle, so perhaps that angle won't be exposed. But who knows? Thermite charges, obviously, as Thermite says himself, is a very large hole.
Yeah, certainly. Warden is also going to... I like this. When I play Capital, I hold this window. Use all your bolts in. Again, in go the smokes. It looks like the plant might be going off here. Nazgul on the flank, though. They let him get into a position to do some damage again. That is going to be something scary.
C4 comes out from Kata. That is the C4 gone down, but still Vicious is keeping these guys at bay. And it looks like Nazgul has taken out the Claymore. There's a drone here, but no one on it. Nazgul managing to flank with the team completely unawares. He could peek out of the attic window, but there you go. Vicious takes down Spaz, and that's why you can't get too greedy. Look, a minute to go, and Vicious is doing some serious damage onto the core of this plant. That's why Warden really needed to save his smokes a little bit later. They just didn't come into effect very well. And look at this. I think that we're about to see Jack Daddy getting taken down, but no, Jack Daddy takes down Nazgul. Meanwhile, Warden finds the head of Kata. It's now a 3 versus 3. This is looking a lot more doable for Darksided.
Yeah, we've got 2 drones out as well. They're really going to try and spot out where these players are. They've probably burned all their utility at this stage. So this is going to be a lot more risky. Oh my god, Warden with an angle into Vicious. Wow. This is really looking doable at the minute. Luca coming up White Stairs, so he's ready to deal some damage. Warden takes down Red Alert. Wow. Trying to get a tap angle in here. If they get this bomb down, that could pretty much be considered game at this stage. He runs past. Warden takes him down. And from out of nowhere, ViewSonic are going to take round number 4. I mean, not round number 4, round number 6. And bring us on to match point.
Very well played from ViewSonic. They 100% deserved that round. They 100% deserved to lose the round that they lost last time attacking that site. They had a really disorganized and not a very unified push. This time, that push was fantastic. Obviously, some errors in the placement of smokes. They managed to get their initial planter and one of the covers taken down early, but with a 3-man retake, that was very well done. Fantastic droning. This is what I always tell people. If there's 40 seconds of the round left, you have time, and you know you have the numbers advantage, or there aren't many players on the enemy team, only 2 or 3 players left. Use your drones. Information is power in this game, and that late in the game, that power gives you so much into coming in and actually winning and taking that round. And honestly, that was fantastic work, droning out. Meanwhile, the drone distracted Kata enough for I believe Warden to actually get a cheeky angle and just pick after pick, and then fantastic execution there at the end, leaving Luca completely locked out of the site. Just well done, Darksided.
Yep, great job from them. And again, guys, I'm not sure if there's a few things I want to sort of point out now, probably a bit late, but this is a best of 3 series, if you guys couldn't tell by the maps. And also, I wanted to give a shout out to Monkey Fist, who we have yet to mention. He's doing an amazing job here observing these games for us. Big shout out to him, he's the real MVP.
Yeah, Monkey Fist, our Lord and Savior stream manager, has been doing a great job with that, and providing us a clean feed. It really increased production quality, and it's great work to be done, and Sky's an expert on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give observing a shot hopefully, and we'll get Monkey on some casts for you guys a bit later in the week, or maybe in the next few weeks. I'll make sure of it. But nevertheless, we've got Nazgul once again in a sneaky position. Please, why why do they keep letting him do this? It's so silly at this stage.
I feel like there are just some matchups where the Twitch drones just work way too much. And, sometimes Twitch is like, yeah, it's kind of working, I don't know, like, not really working. But then there are some matchups where it's just like, what is happening? This Twitch is becoming an effective, reliable means of taking down this. Like, I remember when we were talking to Canadian one time on the podcast, he mentioned there are sometimes just like Twitch drones completely destroy and dismantle all your plans. And when that happens, it can be so difficult to recover because putting down that mirror gives you such an advantage, but it's also a huge crutch if it crumbles beneath you.
Yep, exactly. And I wouldn't be surprised. I really hope we see Mute in play if we do go to the next round, which is obviously it's a possibility and it's not a possibility if Darksided win. If we do, I'd like to see a Mute in play. I'd be interested to see how that would play out.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we are actually having, I really like this, a heavy kitchen hold, I believe, even with a mirror. Fletch actually is going to be playing there. It's a great way to hold this side. It denies the vertical play to dismantle the anchors, and it denies a lot of time. We're actually going to have Nazgul. It's just staring directly at it. Oh, they're going to go for a floor bang. That's what they were preparing for. You really needed the team communication there to make sure that one would work. As soon as Nico got spotted, he was going to move. It looks like we're going to try it again with Lucas on the drone this time. But Vicious there gets the first frag of the round. Only a minute to go. The attackers have made their dint, but they're still not sure exactly where they're going to be pushing.
I'm interested to see how much damage Nico can do here. He's certainly not in the best of spots. But yeah, we see Jack Daddy now making his way back on. Jack Daddy's going to need to go massive on this round. Oop, they're actually going to down a player on it. They're going to finish him off with this smoke. The smokes have not been going well. Luca takes down Luca takes down Nico. Nazgul should be saved here. Oop, nope. Nope. Warden says no thank you. He takes down Nazgul. We need to take a quick look at the timer. 30 seconds to go. This is still doable. Even though there's a one-man advantage for Downfall, Darksided could bring this back, especially with Jack Daddy on the flank here. He needs to be careful of claymores and drones. That could be what completely crumbles him here. Oh, he takes down one.
Ooh, wow.
He's been tagged up very heavy though.
There's no time for this to happen. This is going to be. It's got to be some fantastic work, and I don't see this happening. Darksided. Wow. First pick comes out from Fletch onto Vicious. The second one, Fletch gets two. Can he find the last one? Caddy gets taken down by Warden, and that is game.
Beautiful late game recoveries here from Usonic. We've seen it happen twice. They will be victors of map number 1, which, mind you, was Downfall's pick. Oh my god, what a phenomenal round from them. I mean, game for
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, fantastic game. Fantastic round as well. Coming into the late round, it was really Jack Daddy that made the difference there.
Yeah, 100%. As you can see, there's a quick look at the scoreboard. We should be getting right into game number 2 now. We want to go full steam ahead here. No slowing down. So, yep. Again, what went wrong there for Downfall, aside from them just being really unlucky and unfortunately not having clearance?
Honestly, disorganization is something that hurts your team so much, particularly on their attacks to downstairs. ViewSonic opted every single downstairs defense to do a heavy meeting hold with castle barricades, etc., etc. And it's quite a difficult thing to address if you don't have a strat for it. You can ignore it, and then they'll just late flank and punish you, or you can take it directly, and you might lose players. So, just a lack of decisiveness. All these things are just making it so much more difficult for Darksided, and no doubt is accentuated by the fact that they do have a sub.
Yeah, 100%. Again, it's really unfortunate for them that is the case. But I'm not sure. Like, it's just, I feel like there's nothing that they can really do. Like, again, they fought out. They've tried really difficult, but it's just it's not like you can predict that. You can't prepare for that to happen. It just simply happened.
Yeah. Sometimes these things happen. You just got to try and recover to the best of your ability. And I'd be interested to see how we have any choices of. I'm interested to see whether we're going to see some role change choices from Downfall. We mentioned it at the start. Nazgul is likely to be the probably the strongest fragging role aside from perhaps Luca, but obviously Luca probably likely to be the in-game leader. And, you know, obviously fragging and in-game leader typically roles that quite difficult to do together. So perhaps maybe moving Nazgul onto a more frag-centric role on attack, having Redolent, who is the sub, they're not nearly as confident with Redolent as they are with the rest of the players. Maybe moving him onto a more supportive role, maybe even a Blackbeard. Blackbeard is fairly straight-forward operator. Maybe that would give them a little bit more success.
Yeah, possibly. Again, at this stage, Downfall just needed to try anything. They need to try and make something work. They're already so much below, just because they don't have clearance, and they're clearly they're unprepared, not because they didn't practice, but because they don't have clearance. They're just shocked of all. They don't know how to sort of slot people into the correct roles and all that good stuff. They just need to try something different here.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough uphill battle for them. And I'm impressed with what I've seen from ViewSonic so far. We saw I believe it was the first round of ViewSonic were attacking upstairs, absolutely horrendous. But they demonstrated that they can do better. And they did. They nailed that last round. They really did. And it's a lot more difficult typically to when you're with a new team to strategize and on the fly do your attacks, because attack is a lot more complicated than defense. Defense, if you've ever written a strat down or anything like that, defense, it's what operator you're playing, what utility are you playing, where are your reinforcements, and where do you sit. That's pretty much the basics of it. Attack is so much more complicated. What's your role? Are you going to be droning for a particular player? Are you going to be entering a particular area? Are you on flank watch. A lot of this has to be done in the height of the moment. And the more practice you get at attack, the more with your team, the more you become accustomed to kind of who does what, who goes where, how to interact with people, and how to execute split-second decisions with your team. And as soon as you try playing with a newer team, or you have a substitute, that gets really thrown out the window, and you have a lot more trouble overcoming that incredible difficulty. And ViewSonic have really been showing they did it very well the second time around. So I'm impressed that with their new roster, they have been doing very well.
Yep, and we're now getting underway here on Clubhouse, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 2, get hyped. This is obviously Darksided's pick, correct me if I'm wrong. So I guess coming into this, you'd expect them to win, which would then mean a 2-0 series.
Yeah, and not what we would have expected. I think anyone would have expected a 2-0 victory. These teams are 2 of the Titans coming into this ANZ Cup.
Certainly. I feel like this map may actually slightly benefit Downfall, simply because there isn't as much roam play on this map, hence there's less coordination needed in the team. You can sort of just anchor on site. Would you agree?
Partly, but I mean, yes, the coordination perhaps isn't as necessary. The problem is you need a lot of practice at saying exactly where to sit and how you deal with particular pushes, particularly on Clubhouse, because very commonly on a basement push, you push one particular spot or you push 2 particular spots, and you have to make sure your defender is in a position to counter that particular take, rather than just kind of like, if you're an incredibly strong fragger and you're known for roaming, like if you saw what Downfall were doing every time they were holding that top floor on Oregon, they were opening up all of Attic at both sides. They were playing an incredibly free roam and getting away as long as they could. Even on the defense, they were doing that. And I don't know, like, roaming is clearly a strength of theirs. It's a preferred play style of theirs. And on a map like Clubhouse, where roaming almost never works, I feel like that almost needs to be in like size 2 font. Almost as in like maybe it's worked once in a Pro League match, but almost never, honestly. Almost never roaming on Clubhouse works. So I feel like this is actually going to make it much harder for Downfall.
Yeah, again, but then that's sort of based on the fact that because it's inside of ViewSonic's minds, I mean not ViewSonic, ViewSonic Darksided, maybe they won't drone as heavily, but even then I still find that very difficult to believe. They're going to be droning this very heavily.
Yeah, the number one kind of thing you learn about Clubhouse is how to drone. How to drone the entire map, how to do it as fast as possible with wasting as little. And if you can drone the entire map and know everything's clear within 20 or 30 seconds of the action phase, you put yourself in a really strong position to spend all the rest of that 2 minutes and 40 seconds on actually pushing. Talking about their setup here, I like what we're seeing. We're seeing this very highly contested, I would say, church, mirror facing into church from blue. It's a very hotly debated topic, but wow, Malzgul gets the first pick there onto Jackdan. Where was that frag?
Possibly through the hatch. I'm not.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I believe that was up stock hatch from playing inside blue. But yeah, as we can see, Mirror has been picked. One is going to be on the church wall itself. Luca is going to be able to completely ban it, trick that to deny anyone pushing down main stairs. And it's a very aggressive hold, and it works very well if you can get a pick. The Mirror inside blue is very useful if they go for a church push, but if they take blue from you, it's obviously detrimental to your attack. Your defense, sorry.
100%. We see here Spaz bucking, really looking for a pick here. Plenty of time still on the board here for ViewSonic. What they really need here is a pick. They need one pick. They don't want anyone. They just need to equalize. That's all they need to do.
And that's exactly what they're looking for. As you can see, Nico looking very aggressively down that hatch, looking for someone playing at shelves or AK. And as we can see, wow, the C4 comes up. No, Nazgul gets taken down by Spaz, and that was exactly what they needed. Nazgul tried to get aggressive with that C4, and Spaz punished him. And that's the power of Buck opening up the floor. And some great droning here from Nico. Finds out that there's one inside of dirt, there's one at green box, and it looks like Fletch is actually going to be dropping right now with his in.
Yeah, he's going to go for this plant, and there's only one person, Warden, watching down the hallway, is going to take one down. If they get this plant down, this could be brutal. Another one from Spaz. The plant goes down. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a 4v2. It's all on Vicious and Redolent here. Vicious just chucking his smoke grenades like candy. He gets taken down. It's all on Redolent, and from out of nowhere, ViewSonic Darksided are going to most likely here take round number 1 of map number 2.
honestly, I don't know how Warden managed to stay safe at that main stairs. That should never have happened with the mirror sitting there.
Especially, yeah, you could have been a pretty nice C4. Exactly.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, Redolent here trying to make something work, and he might do just that as he finds one. Doesn't manage to get the second, and that'll be round number 1 going over to ViewSonic Darksided.
Solid effort there from Redolent, managing to pick up 2 frags in a 1 versus 4, but no, it was never going to happen. 1v4 clutch, plant down, players above. No,
Yeah,
not going to happen.
100%. It was a valiant effort, but didn't work out.
Yeah, honestly, I really like that execution there from Darksided. Is one of the essential things, I mentioned this at the end of last game, is end-game droning. Teams that will, when they're about to go for their push, drone out, know the exact positions of the anchors that are going to be a direct threat to them, find out an initial way to counter that. So, for example, they use smoke and ying charges to counter the person sitting at AK and the person sitting in dirt. And, that really helps you. And then they just directed their entire focus on making sure they could get one player down below the hatch and planting. And they had Warden watching down the hallway, and they had several people watching from the hatch, and obviously Spaz watching through his fantastic buck holes. So it's just a really well executed attack. And I don't know, Downfall, you kind of need to win your basement defenses. This is Clubhouse.
I completely agree with that, and something that I've actually seen a trend with ViewSonic is they start very slow to the rounds. Normally they don't get the first pick, but their execution is phenomenal. They always come back in the end. Have you noticed that as well? Especially on that last map there, right? They start really slow, possibly one or two of their players get picked, but in the end, just the pure gunplay, skill and exexecution wins them the round.
They just look like Corvidae to me.
And Spaz,
the way that they play, and Spaz there with four kills in the last round. 4K from Spaz, doing incredibly well for himself, and definitely demonstrating that he is a very strong pickup for this team, and he plays a very good buck. Previously, Warden was the buck main on Corvidae, but Spaz has shown that, Warden moving on to a Zephyr kind of role, definitely a good choice. Spaz is doing a great job.
100%. Downfall wasting no time here as they're getting quick map control, especially with Nazgul leading the way on Ash. And Kata's now going to be jumping in. We do see a Hibana and a Thermite, 2 hard breaches. Again, it's not that uncommon, but sometimes you'll only see the Hibana, but most of the time it'll be both.
Typically, obviously there are 3 hatches on this map, so you need a Hibana just to get hatches. So that means if you want to take dirt, if you want a Thermite church wall, you need a Thermite. We've seen the exact same aggressive mirror playing from Jack Daddy, the exact same mirror in blue playing from Fletch. A lot of people, like I was saying before, it was a very contested one, but look at that. Blackbeard Pigs, no, Warden should not have gotten that kill.
I think
Warden, SMG-11 versus a Blackbeard, no.
I think that he was prone and his shield, he went underneath, the bullets went underneath the shield and then up into his head. Nevertheless, phenomenal play from him. The Twitch drone gets taken down. No more cheeky Twitch plays for you, Luca, or for Downfall for that matter. At least this round, they will be denying that, and it looks really good here for ViewSonic.
Speaking of cheeky, we actually have Jack Daddy playing Bandit with a C4. Obviously, Bandit has now only gets 2 barbed wire instead of 3, putting him on the same platform as all of the other operators with barbed wire, which makes it a little bit more easier to justify his C4. Looks like Nazgul's going to want to do for a 3-speed. Kata actually runs past, despite Jack Daddy playing on the mirror. He is going to successfully Bandit trick that, though. He hasn't used his C4 to kill the Ash sitting there at main stairs for some reason. He also didn't shoot when Cadaverse ran past. I'm a little bit surprised at what Jack Daddy is actually trying to do here. Wow.
That was really close. Oh, the angle. Nope. Fletch will get taken down there, and that will be evening it out to 4v4. Maybe not. Nope. Warden. SMG-11 range. Who cares? I'll get the headshot anyway. Fletch is now going to be reviving. No, sorry, Nico's reviving Fletch. 30 seconds, they really need to push here. Nazgul finds one, but Fletch with the quick reply into Nazgul. It doesn't look great here. They just need to play really slow, but nevertheless, Redolent's going to take down Nico. Still the one-man advantage here for ViewSonic Darksided. They just need to hold their angles at this stage. And they do just that as Warden finds a 3K. Make that a 4K. This man is insane at the moment. All with the SMG-11. He doesn't care how many shots it has. 17 bullets in a mag, and he still manages to find 2 of them, even though he reloaded, but who cares? It sounded cool.
That was an excellent play from Warden. I don't think he's been the smoke main in the past.
May as well be now. He's going
He
mad.
definitely likes the SMG-11. feet, taking out cross map from within dirt. A shot all the way pre-firing through the wall into someone in blue. That's just amazing. And then managing to pick up 2 frags again. Fantastic job.
Yep, and already here it looks to be very, very dominant here for Darksided. I'm honestly still very, very proud and surprised of how Downfall are playing, even though the obviously the unforeseen circumstance with Clarence not being able to play.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, the Clarence is going to be a hit to it, but I do believe it was Nazgul playing on the drone. Is that correct?
And who, sorry?
Nazgul playing on the Ash last
Yes,
time.
yes, that was Nazgul.
Yeah. Just like what I was saying last game, right? Nazgul's probably the one that should be transitioning to Ash rather than it being Luca. And yeah, I don't know. It's funny. We're seeing Redlin actually pick up the mirror. I'm pretty confident that Clarence did not play mirror. So you can see it's really hard when you bring on a sub if you're not just doing a direct, all right, you pretend to be our core that's missing. Wow, what a play from Jack Daddy there.
Going James Bond
Is this
mode.
drone invisible or what? Yeah, he has. Oh.
See if he manages to pull something off here. Ooh, he has been spotted, or at least I'd hope he's been spotted. Look at him just go.
Oh,
Whoa!
no.
The place. No way. Oh my god. Jack Daddy, this man. What? That's just amazing.
I'm just going to guarantee right now that Jack Daddy has the elite skin. Oh no! Spaz managed to punish Nazgul, and that's why you don't roam on Clubhouse basement.
Yeah, phenomenal. As you can see, he was hiding in the corner. They just completely outplayed him there. No questions asked. And yeah, the elite skin might have been part of it as sort of like a sand color, and he was in the cave, which is all like sand. So yeah, that might have been the case.
People have said that maybe the Twitch elite skin needs a little bit of a nerf. The
Pay
fact
to
that
win.
it changes the pay to win, right? People say that the color of the drone, the skin, actually does affect its the difficulty it is of how you see it. And there's definitely some validity to that statement.
Yeah, 100%. ViewSonic, they're a little bit slower, but they sort of can be. They want to be really careful, especially now that they've got that one-man advantage. And it's a pulse, which means they can be a little bit a bit more safer about sort of not being C4'd through the floor, because pulse is scary on this map if he's played right.
Absolutely. Just like a Valkyrie, the vertical play with C4 through the floor is something that teams love to utilize. But Spaz has been doing fantastic work on his box so far, and he's bringing it once again. And you know that's the direct counter to that kind of play. But yeah, it doesn't really matter at this point. We're seeing Jack Daddy actually pushing down blue. No ACOG. Interesting.
We actually just saw Spaz take out the smoke capture, which was down there, which is really smart stuff from him. As they had it pre-placed, I don't really agree with pre-placing smoke captures. It's a bit silly because they can be thatched and shot. You may as well just throw them. I can see if you're sort of on the other side of the bomb site maybe, but even then. Anyway, nevertheless, Jack Daddy here above stock hatch. 1 minute on the clock for Darksided to execute this push. Will they win the round that they shouldn't win for a second time in a row?
ViewSonic are incredibly competent at droning and making good on that drone. You can see Nico just droning right now. They've spent the last, 30 seconds to a minute droning. They're doing the exact same plan as last time. They're just like last time. They find out who's where. The smoke canister does come out by Vicious, but he's pre-smoking the wrong spot. That's the reason why you need eyes on the side. And look at that. Fletch managed to get the plant down. Jack Daddy finds red. Kata gets taken down by Jack Daddy. A fantastic drop shot. Jack Daddy get on the floor. Luca finds Warden. Luca gets taken down by Nico, and Fletch finds the last kill onto Vicious, and that's round 3 to ViewSonic Darksided in a 3-0 victory. 3-0 lead. Sorry, the victory, not yet.
Not quite yet, but nevertheless, it may as well be at this stage. They are ripping them apart at the moment. As you stated a few rounds ago, they should not be winning that site, but yet they still do.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at the frags coming out, we've got 2 downfall players who just haven't managed to find any just yet, and yeah, it's really, maybe if you lose your downstairs defense once on Clubhouse, all right, get at it next time, maybe do a really strong attack and break through their defense to try and even it up. But no, you lose your downstairs defense, you lose your downstairs attack, and then you go back to your downstairs defense and you lose it. That's not a good start. Now, speaking of bomb sites, look at where ViewSonic have taken us. A personal favorite of Sky and Mine. Here we are in Cash Room.
Flea will give you a good old rant on how he believes Cash Room is better than Bar and Stock, and I've got to completely agree with him on that one. This site needs to be the new meta. It is so well defended. I think the first time I ever saw this really well defended was, I think, Irons. They defended this site.
Oh, really?
And they did it really well. Maybe it was either Irons or one of the Southeast State. Maybe Cryptic, I'm not sure. But whoever it was, they defended it really well. And now, just from now on, we've seen it defended pretty much the exact same every time.
Yeah, I do believe that the trendsetter for this one was Flipside, who tend to be the trendsetter when it comes to, doing weird stuff. But I really like the setup we've got. So as you can see, all 4 walls of the garage, reinforced and banded. We've got a mirror inside at the top of the stairs. Completely soft wall here. I actually like that. You're just wasting reinforcers because they pretty much get that as a free thermite. And instead choosing to use your reinforcers off-site in order to protect your players who will be able to kill anyone inside. So I would compare Cash Room to a site like Bar and Gaming Room on Chalet. It's a site that you don't typically play inside the bomb site. You play outside. And wow, Lucas trying to find an angle there. Lights up one shot there onto the defender up there. And wow, Nazgul looking to get aggressive here. But they're going to have to get creative to actually break through this defense.
Yep, 100%. We also saw them defend both. Oh, the C4 is going to go out. It is missed. Nazgul backing off the right time, and that's a bit of a foul there. You don't want to be wasting your C4 so early on. And it seems to be really strong defense, but Fletch manages to take down Nazgul. Don't need the C4. They'll find him anyway.
So Cadet throwing his stuns down there. It does tell him there's actually no one there because of proximity activated. So with no one on that ledge there, Mute play coming out. You were talking about Mute last map. Mute's definitely a good one, particularly on a site where it's very unusual for how it's defended, because obviously they're going to want to do lots of droning to figure out where things are going. And obviously Lucas' drone there does get taken down. This east exterior wall has been opened up by Redland on the Hibana, and they're moving into sight. Luca pushes in, finds Spaz. Luca's about to push in again. Luca is now safely inside Cash, but he's about to get flanked by Fletch, and Fletch finds his head. Warden's about to go for a run out here by the looks of it. He really wants to. Gets taken down by Kata, and here we have it. Vicious, meanwhile, finds Nico, and it's now a 2 versus 3. Plenty of time on the clock.
Yeah, Luca getting into sight was certainly a foul there. He just ripped them apart. Even though he only got 1 kill, he really made ViewSonic doubt their plays. They've now got 1 less man because of it, and they need to be really careful here.
Yeah, and I feel like it's Nazgul who's gonna, Redland, who's just gonna jump in and directly contest Jack Daddy. Jack Daddy playing on that mirror is the main important one, and look at this, some clever Claymore placement, and it looks like Kata is preparing. Oh, wow.
That's smart.
Oh, yep. 200 IQ, right? Oh, looks like Redland's going to plant right there. There's no C4 ready. No, he's gone fake. Fletch managed to find one. Does Jack Daddy see the C4? He's getting shot at from the west window. Fletch and Jack Daddy on splitters of health. Fletch finds Kata. Oh my goodness. Is Fletch on a 3K or a 4K? A 4K for Fletch. Can he get the ace? He's been carrying his team through this defense.
I'm on the edge of my seat at the moment. Sorry I'm not talking much, but this is phenomenal. Finds one. Is he going to find Fletch? He knows he's got the down. Oh, Redolent!
No!
What a mad play from him.
Oh my goodness. Wow, what a great read. And look at that. They were both on smidgens of health. That was one Redolent that round. Great pre-fires too. Well, every shot you don't take is a miss.
Yep, phenomenal stuff from him there. Even after just so much out of Fletch, they still couldn't bring it home. I was going to say again, for like the 50th time that we see ViewSonic, they start really slow and then bring it back. But that's not the case here. Finally a round on the board for Downfall. But they really need to sort this out. I think what they're thinking at the moment, they're going down below, so what they really need to do, both times ViewSonic have pushed the exact same way. They just need to counter that, and then they should be alright. But if ViewSonic try and counter-strat that counter-strat and go somewhere else, that's when things look scary.
Yeah, honestly though, you can't really, we're about counter. So what we're going to see from ViewSonic, if they do the same thing again, it's going to be a push, opening up this hatch right now. Nazgul's reinforcing, opening up the floor with Bach, and basically just doing a Ying smoke plant and dropping down one of their players to get the plant down. Ways to directly counter that. Well, why don't we put someone inside of Armory and Deep so that they can't drop or they'll be jumping into a crossfire? Oh, no, because Spaz is just going to open up the floor above you and kill you. And ViewSonic have been droning incredibly well, and you won't be able to get away with sneaking down there. Kata looks to be playing the Pulse. He might actually be getting quite aggressive. Yep, he is going to be opening up a pre-placed hole. And it looks like lots of pre-placed holes here. This is actually a good idea. I like what they're doing. They're actually thinking of ways to counter this, like you were saying.
Yep, that's what they need to do here. Like, again, we've got a Ying, pretty much all the same ops. So that tells me ViewSonic are going to try the exact same thing once again. And look, they're looking to counter that here, which is really nice. Again, they don't have... This time we don't see a roam. AKA Downfall aren't just going to give a free pick over to ViewSonic, which is certainly a good thing. For them, at least. Drones here. Garage control has been established.
Yeah, and the Claymore going down, of course. For those who don't know, you got to Claymore the garage ladder because it's the primary way to flank. And, you know, if the reason why you don't roam on Clubhouse is because they'll drone out the entire map and find you and kill you. And if you try and go for a late roam, well, you can't because you can go up main stairs, oh, but they're always watching it. Or you can go up garage ladder, oh, but bang, you're dead because it's a Claymore. And that's why you Claymore.
If you're lucky, you might get killed by 2 Claymores.
Oh, damn, that's edgy. And look, speaking of Claymores here, Warden doesn't find it enough to be just having someone watch. The main says they're going to be Claymoring that too. But look at this. Pulse is getting all kinds of info. It really needs to be someone droning for Spaz so he can open up the floor, and that's exactly what he's going to start doing, trying to put pressure onto these players down below.
Yeah, certainly.
And look at that. He's been droned out.
The Ying charge goes in.
Ooh, wow.
Ooh, they're trying to get him. They're not quite on him enough, though.
Oh, no. Can they find him?
Kata could be brutal here. Warden takes down Nazgul. Nice stuff from him. He's going to go through the C4. He should get one here.
Oh, no. Hibana's going to get taken down.
Nope.
No.
Apparently not.
And they didn't even... They needed to have the hatch open while they were doing that because he just got to get away for free. Meanwhile, Luca gets taken down by Jack Daddy from the blue hatch, and despite, you know, Cadden managing to get away with his life, his team is falling apart around him. Warden has been lit up quite heavily, but he's still got 4 healthy teammates, and they're getting ready to do the exact same push they've done time and time again, and it's been successful.
This is so smart from ViewSonic, right? They're watching every... I like this nade from Spaz as well. It just denies anyone going in that general direction there. Flashbangs go out. Again, the drop, and we're going to have the third person come from Mark. If you see how much Kata wants this kill, he gets taken down from Fletch, however. I mean, not from... Yeah, from Fletch. That was Fletch. Vicious smoking out here. Is it going to be enough? He shoots through the box. He takes him down. Could this be possible?
That's exactly what they needed. Kata almost made the difference, and then it looks like Vicious did. Oh, and then Vicious finds another one. Plenty of time. Nico and Spaz just have to reassess. Baz finds Redolent, 2 versus 1. It's all up to Vicious. Nico finds him, and fantastic headshot gets the round once again to VSDS. That was a lot less clean, but that's the 3rd time ViewSonic Dark-Sided have won their attack on the basement.
You know, what I was happy to see there is you saw how bad Downfall wanted to deny that plant. They were chucking men in to deny that. They were pre-firing the spot. They were doing absolutely everything and anything to get it to deny that plant. They did do it in the end, but it just wasn't enough. Even after a beautiful play from Vicious, it just simply wasn't enough. And you can't...
They did better.
Yeah, they did a lot better. I'll give them that much. But now that we've got VSDS going to go Church and Arsenal, we've seen them win it. We know it's their preferred site. And we're on match point. I don't like Downfall's chances.
If someone said to me, what is the worst case scenario you can be on Clubhouse playing? And, you know, I would probably say... match point against you and you're defending, you know, you're attacking downstairs. Like, that's pretty much as bad as it gets, honestly. And yeah, Downfall haven't successfully attacked this site once. Obviously we haven't actually seen ViewSonic defend it a second time. Maybe Downfall have learned from the first mistake, but that was a long time ago now. This game's been going on for quite some time, and trying to remember all the mistakes you made, you know, half an hour ago, and, you know, quickly talking about improving them, that's difficult. So, I don't know, ViewSonic have been defending this well. Once again, Jack Daddy with the C4. I'm not sure if he's going to actually make use of it this time. But yeah, we'll see. Last time we had this, I believe it was Warden got a 4K with the SMG-11, starting off by taking out Vicious on the Blackbeard in Dirt Tunnel, and that was just fantastic from Warden.
Yep, 100% really nice stuff out of him. Bandit going down, and again, this is where we saw Warden go mad as well. We gotta remember that Warden got a 4K with that SMG, right? You cannot rely on that to happen a second time, so that may give Downfall a better chance in this round.
That's true, but no wire here in Blue Hallway. If we get some successful droning from down... Oh, here we go, the wire coming out. And then great job from Jack Daddy. I really like the shock wires being used for that purpose, denying drones by placing it on top of barbed wire. Something else I want to mention is this, down the main hallway we actually have a castle barricade at the end. And what this castle barricade does is it actually prevents the angle from main stairs looking all the way down and into armory at near the green box position. But On top of that, Nico's actually 11 hit that castle barricade, so he's going to be able to jump through if he needs to for a quick late flank.
Yep, 100%. We do see the main castle barricade being taken down by Nazgul. He's playing really aggressively here. See how badly he wants that first pick.
Yep, that is the first castle barricade down in the bottom, Menstez, but there is another one, as you can see, being taken down. That was the that would have made a big difference, but looks like Nazgul has taken it down. Last time we actually saw Nazgul go through a rush, I believe. And he just got traded back instantly, so I didn't really think that was successful. Look how aggressive Warden is getting.
Yeah,
wow.
You can see how confident Warden is there. You know, I got 4 kills, I'll do it again. Nope, not the case here, buddy.
A slow peek into an Ash with an ACOG. He had to pre-fire that if he wanted that kill.
Yeah, pretty much. You can't expect to get that, but Jack Daddy, this is what Darksided are good at. He gets the quick reply onto Nazgul as well. Payback for his buddy. Blackbeard's made his way here into Memorial, however, and this is going to make things very difficult for ViewSonic Darksided if they don't deal with him properly. They've got that mirror, which should make things a little bit more difficult here for this Blackbeard to push in. There's a minute to go again. Quite a decent chunk of time, but not as much as you might think.
And the blue mirror now has been popped open, I believe. Wow, Jack Daddy should know won that fight. Vicious. The Blackbeard
Jack Daddy.
Taking down Jack Daddy finds a second one onto Cat. Cat has been doing incredible. That is the Ying down. Luke has almost found the feet of Fletch there, but no, 2 versus 4, 45 seconds. This looks to be the final match. We're going to see it 2-0 in favor of VSDS if we don't see Luca and Redolent pull out something crazy.
Yep, crazy is the exact word they're going to need to do here. You might need to sing the Jack Daddy song in just a minute, Dev.
Jack
Daddy, get on the floor.
Incredible.
Come on.
Thanks, Scott.
I need to start singing, Dev. Alright, nevertheless, let's go back into the game. This is going to be extremely difficult here. 15 seconds on the clock for Downfall. More specifically, Redolent and Luca to make a play. Redolent's dropping instantly allied here. There's just not much he can do. You can even see they've given up the mirror. Spaz takes down Luca. It is impossible. Ladies and gentlemen, ViewSonic Darksided will be your victors for Playday number 1 here. Beautiful stuff from them.
GG, well played. Yeah, absolutely well played. Just honestly the better team with this lineup composition. Obviously very unfortunate for Downfall that they're missing out one of their players and having to bring on Redolent as a sub, but nonetheless very, very well played. And I think a lot of people are going to be pleasantly surprised with the performance of ViewSonic Darksided.
Yep, I've got to completely agree with you on that one. Phenomenal stuff from them, to be honest. Like, again, I want to try and point out what Downfall did wrong, but I sort of feel like you can't in a way, because it's like such an unfortunate circumstance happened to them.
So much of it is going to just come down to the fact that it was a different lineup, they were disorganized, but I mean, to be fair, ViewSonic played that incredibly well. And I mean, even if I think I'm pretty confident in saying that even if Downfall had their full roster, that armory take that we saw ViewSonic be so successful on time and time again, I really think that they would have won those anyway.
Yep, 100%. I would now like to welcome the one, the only Monkey Fist into the chat to help us analyze this matchup. How are you doing, Monkey?
I'm doing well, thank you very much. Yeah, I suppose I really want to open up with the minute I heard that Clarence wasn't playing, I was like, no chance for Downfall now. Clarence is the Downfall side, and I suppose that's what we saw in the end.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. I sort of agree with that completely. I guess, what do you think it would have looked like if Clarence was on the playing field? Do you think it would have been a lot closer?
I reckon Clarence is the type who'll get those important frags, and just frags in general. Like, he's normally, always, like, against these top teams, puts up like a 2.0 KD or 2.0 kill per round almost every time. He just has a knack for it. Unfortunately, he had tech issues today, so that sucks for him, but yeah, it was a bit disappointing in the end. So,
yeah, we just saw a 2-0 victory for ViewSonic Darksided. For those who don't know, the format of the ESL ANZ Cup is actually a round robin. I believe every team will play every other team 2 times, so we will see at one point Downfall and ViewSonic play each other once again. Correct me if I'm wrong.
We've seen them play recently in the CG Cup, I think it was, or maybe in the Go 4, and Downfall came out on top in that one.
Yeah, and that would have been with their full roster with Clarence on the team.
Yes, that was with Clarence on the team. That being said, like, it was when they were still getting used to putting in Nico and Spaz, and I think Darksider may have been playing with a different player as well, from memory. And it was on Chalet. And now, if we look at the picks and bans, Chalet went right out the window nice and early.
Yeah, there's something new to ban Chalet. Downfall are fairly well known for Chalet being one of their favourite maps, which makes perfect sense because Downfall love roaming and Chalet is a roaming map.
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
Completely.
Yep.
Anything else you guys wanted to discuss?
Well, I was thinking maybe Monkey Fist, you'd like to give us your thoughts onto the coming up matchup we will be having on this channel: Two Titans, Atletico versus Mind Freak.
Yep.
Yeah, indeed. I suppose I'm really expecting Mind Freak to take this one nice and handily. Atletico, though, I don't think without a chance. I think there is still a chance for them to take it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Mind Freak have been seed 1. They've won fairly decisively in the Invitational qualifiers versus Atletico. I believe it was a 5-0 victory on Border.
Yeah. Every time like Mind Freak have gone up against Atletico, like I suppose we've just seen Mind Freak get more and more dominant. Like I remember when they first came to PC, they were struggling, they were taking them to overtime, but Atletico were coming out on top in the end. You know, suddenly that switched, and then of course the last match we saw these guys play 5-0 to Mind Freak. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Yeah,
Mind Freak definitely probably the strongest force coming into this cup, and it's a challenge for anyone who comes up against them. Obviously, Mind Freak will be Invitationals very shortly, having come out and being the APAC champions from the Invitational qualifiers. And so, yeah, it's big work cut out for Atletico. Obviously, Atletico have actually had a roster change. Not too recently, but I mean, it's fair to talk about kind of Emorin's addition to the Atletico roster. How do you think that has improved, or how do you think it's changed Atletico as a team?
I think it's only improved them as well, but I think Atletico has been in a bit of turmoil for a while in terms of their regular roster and such. So I believe that they've actually moved Derp over to their core lineup.
Yep.
Yes, you were correct in doing that.
Yeah, so that's a bit strange, but it's fair enough. Like I know they're struggling to find players who are committed enough. I think, from what I understand, and yeah, Mind Freak, I suppose, on the complete opposite spectrum there.
Yep.
Yeah, completely agree with that. But yeah, anything else you guys wanted to say? Are we pretty good
all
there?
set?
Anything else we wanted to talk about? Nope. Alright, well guys, make sure you guys keep tuned. We'll have Atletico versus Mind Freak in just a little bit.
Didn't think we could fall in love. Broken from the start, chained to our past. We had closed hearts. We are breaking free. It's just you and me. We might fall apart, far running away with our hearts. Can we break free? Can we break free? Can we break free? Can we? They were blinded, tried to deny us. Didn't think we were following our hearts. We are breaking free. It's just you and me. We might fall apart. Now we're running away with our hearts. Can we break free? Can we break free? Can we break free? Can we?
Night is cold, but your heart's colder. I will wait for you. The glitch in your eyes pulled me under, but I will wait for you. There's nothing left for me to do than run and act myself a fool. No point in trusting anyone. Your eyes of diamonds keep me up. Never thought that it could be this rough. No point in trusting anyone.
but I will wait for you.
There's nothing left for me to do than run and act myself a fool. No point in trusting anyone. Your eyes are diamonds, keep me up. Never thought that it could be this rough. No point in trusting anyone.
When the night is over, my life is over. 'Cause I start thinking again about our time together. When the night is over, my life is over. 'Cause I start thinking again about our time together. When the night is over, my life is over. 'Cause I start thinking again about our time together. When the night is over, my life is over. 'Cause I start thinking again about our time together.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Sky and I'm joined by, again, Dev Marta. How are you going, Dev?
Hey guys, how's it going? This is going to be a ripper match, which is a fantastic one. I'm super keen for this next one.
Yeah, me as well. This is just going to be an absolutely amazing match. I feel like there's a lot less to talk about in this match, as obviously, I'd say probably the main point is that Derpe is now in the core of Atletico, which I believe Monkey briefly mentioned in the analysis after last game. But yeah, I'd say that's about it. Otherwise, we've got the normal Mindfreak lineup, and everyone else in Atletico's standard. So I guess we can pretty much just skip right to the maps. Would you agree?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this team has been around for a while. Hasn't been really many serious roster changes recently. So yeah, go right on and talk about the maps.
Alright, so let me just unmute the audio here. Sorry, guys. So yeah, for the maps, we will have. Banned will be Bands, Mindfreak will ban Bank, Consult Oregon, Ath will ban Clubhouse, Skyscraper Cafe, and the picks will be Border, being picked by Mindfreak, Atletico picking Coastline, and the cider will be Chalet. However, we're wasting no time as we are now here on map number 1, which is obviously Border.
Yep, here we are on Border, Mindfreak's pick. Monkeyfest was saying before, a little bit surprised that Ath would actually let this through the ban phase. I believe the last time we saw these teams two go up against each other was in the Invitational qualifiers, and Mindfreak actually 5-0'd Atletico here.
Yeah, like, and not to speak with that, I'm going to be, personally for me, a big watching point is going to be Derpe. I'm really interested to see how he slots in here for Atletico, and not only that, Mindfreak I think has pretty fairly proven themselves to be right now a top 2 spot in the APAC region. I'd say the only reason I can't name them one is simply because of Irons, and we don't know currently where they're really at.
Of course, we've never seen Mindfreak actually play Irons. Perhaps they've played in scrims, but yeah, there are the 2 teams from APAC going to the 6th Invitational in Montreal just in the coming weeks. So getting on to this map, one thing just before we start discussing this particular round, I want to talk about Mindfreak's end game here. Now, this is the ANZ Cup, $10,000 prize pool, $7,000 going to the spot number 1. However, Mindfreak also want to protect their strategies for the upcoming 6th Invitational, where they'll be facing teams which are likely a lot bigger challenges than all these ANZ teams, all these teams who have been around for a lot longer. So perhaps, oh wow, let me just stop talking analysis for a moment as Todd finds Luster with an aggressive Valkyrie cam pick, and that is Hibana down, the only hard breach down. Fantastic start for Atletico.
Yeah, that is not what Mindfreak want whatsoever. Kings is going to be quickly droning out CC here, and again he's like, wait a minute, maybe I could be Ronaldo on as he sees that window, so he quickly preempts that. That is not the case at the minute, however, and then he's just going to continue droning.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what Atletico needed. I think very well played from Todd. Just an early peak, something surprising, something to throw them off. That's exactly something to make it feel like Mindfreak isn't in control. That's exactly what Atletico needed, and they've got it.
Again, I think Magnet just popped the mirror there, but he gets taken down by Neophyter. Beautiful stuff from him. Absolutely phenomenal. That's already a 2-man advantage for Atletico. Already out of the gates, they are looking very strong here.
Yeah, and 2 very strong players as well gone down, Lusty and Magnet. Magnet obviously being... Oh, that's the 2 IGLs down. Lusty is primary IGL, Magnet secondary IGL. I guess they're going to be sitting on drones calling the shots now. Yeah,
more or less, that could be a good thing, but I'm sure nobody ever wants 2 people down. Ooh. But nice stuff from Aces on the Blackbeard DMR. He has had some very notorious clips on that DMR. He's pretty great at it.
I really like this setup we've got just on this armory wall. One side reinforced, one side open, and same on the CCTV side, one side reinforced, one side open. Interesting, I don't think I've ever seen that exact lineup before, but this mirror being down is going to make a huge difference for the effectiveness of this defense. But as you can see, who is that? I believe that's Neophyter actually getting very aggressive as Kings flashes himself there.
Ooh. Kings is actually going to spot him out. Neo, however, playing very aggressively, takes him down. He should get found from behind. He does. He gets found by Aces, but Derpe and Derpe are going to take down Ruzraz and Aces. Derpe has 2 people at once, apparently, but oh my god, what a dominant round from Ath.
Yeah, whoa, what was that shot? Did you see that?
Yeah, that was phenomenal pre-fire.
My goodness, that was a fantastic... That was such a tight angle with the reflex sight. Well done, Derpe. That was nutty.
And we should talk a little bit about who Derpe is replacing. He's actually replacing Schmed.
Yeah, so Schmed's been on the lineup for quite a long time, even played back at the ANZ Invitational, which Atletico actually came top in. So yeah, I mean, this, Derpa coming in, obviously former, I believe, Dead Set player, has now come along. Was originally a sub for Atletico, has now replaced Schmed on the core lineup.
Yep, that sounds about right to me. Yeah, again, we see here pretty standard stuff coming out of Mindfreak. One thing about Borders, it's pretty much always the same. Sometimes you'll see a little bit, like you'll see some stuff a bit different, and you'll see some small changes in the way stuff's done. But like, I guess broader, and a more broader, looking at more broader, it's more the same.
I feel like we've seen so much Border play and so much Border innovation that you feel like you've kind of seen it all now.
Yeah, pretty much. You don't see as much new stuff anymore. Lusty here going to be smacking down the barricade, and again, we've got Smoke here playing aggressively, breaking some holes in the wall. But yeah, again, Atletico looks so dominant on that round.
Yeah, absolutely. We are going to be having a buck coming out once again for Atletico's side. Emo Rin is notorious. Look at that. So this is what Emo Rin is for.
Yeah, 100%. CCTV is going to be joined out by Silex and Derpair, maybe Emo as well. Again, we see here Lusty on the aggressive roam. Like, I've got to say, I honestly expect Mindfreak to come away with this matchup, only because we've seen how dominant they've been, but then at the same time, Atletico is sort of the dark horse. We haven't seen much of them over the past few months. They're sort of like the Elevate of of Australia.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. We haven't seen them yet. Like you were saying, Elevate hasn't shown themselves for quite some time, and similarly, Atletico really hasn't been at the forefront of things recently. And I guess, yeah, I'm really interested to see how Atletico actually managed to handle this. They've got a very strong lineup. Obviously, Derpa proving in last round he's a very strong player, and obviously Immerin being one of the previous stars from the old Taboo lineup. Currently, they're just going to be trying to deal with this Jaeger that is Lusty, who's currently, I believe, still sitting inside of the bathroom. They're trying to get a peek here onto Emo. It looks like Emo is quite aware. Oh, nice use of the Yings, but he doesn't actually get found. But there you go, Neophyter finds his head through the wall, and that was a great job at clearing out the roamers. And now we have Zafia and Buck able to use that vertical play, something to open up these mirrors, opening up these anchor spots, and putting some serious pressure onto the defenders.
Yeah, 100% here. Again, CC being drawn out again. Again, Atletico being so careful here. They don't want to throw this away, and this is really smart stuff from them. Floor below is going to be bucked as well as the mirror. Don't even need to pop it. The buck pellets are going to just walk right on into it. I'm sure they're happy with that. Again, we see Magnet here on the smoke. Although there's a one-man advantage, not too much upstairs map control has been gained here for Atletico.
No. 55 seconds to go. I mean, it's kind of getting to that point where you kind of need to be doing something. It looks like no just yet, but they're preparing by thermiting the armory wall, preparing to actually open this up. I really like this. Look at that. Rizraz kept a single impact grenade that whole time so he could go for a late flank, but it looks like they're wary of it. There's actually one watching the hatch, finds the head of Emo Rin. Great shot. Does take a few bullets there, but nothing too drastic. And now it's going to be up to Magnet to deny this push by using the smoke. Aces C4's Neophyter, and that is the plant denied.
Aces as well. Manages to find the head of Derpair. Out of nowhere, even though there was a one-man advantage for Atletico, Mindfreak seem to really be coming back into this. Silex, however, is going to manage to take down Aces. The smokes are going to go out as well as the Yings. The plant is looking to go down here, but Rizraz going massive as he finds Silex. And it's all on Todd. Finds one, isn't going to find two, however. And that will be round number 2 going over to Mindfreak, evening out the scoreline 1-1.
That was actually far too close for comfort from Mindfreak's perspective.
Yeah, if Todd had flicked a little bit harder, he might have got both of them.
And we do know Todd is well known for.
Yes, personally, I'm a big fan of his catchphrase. What a flick from Todd.
Yes, and I'm really praying that I'm going to be able to say that at some point during this matchup. So let me just make everyone forget about that. So I'll just bring it up at the most unlikely moment.
You saw nothing.
Moving on here, we're now going to be seeing once again attacking events this time. So obviously Atletico was successful in the defense of the Armory Lockers and Archives. We've only seen successful defenses so far. That's kind of what you'd expect. I mean, Border, pretty typical that you get a successful defense top floor and then you'd head on down bottom floor. What Silex is reinforcing right here, that's a great reinforcement. What a lot of particularly Ash players like to do when attacking this basement is they enter in through detention, they open up that with either a punch hole or by using an Ash charge or something, and you get a nice angle all the way into servers into the site, and you can cut off a lot of rotations through there. So nice play. Very typical castle setup coming out here. We're going to be having a rotate hole from bathroom into the site, and of course castle barricade on the bathroom to kind of prevent an easy take of that side, and now allow you to have a crossfire onto that hatch in the site.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, sorry. Mindfreak here going for the quick E-stairs take. I really like when people get E-stairs control nice and quickly into the round. Although it's such a small portion of the map, it does a lot more than it probably should. Oh, and a run out from Todd. He should not have got that kill. Rizraz saw him jump out and he aimed on him, but just flick. A nice flick from Todd, as some would say.
Yeah, Todd's been showing himself really strongly, going for these early aggressive runouts with Valkyrie, and twice in a row it's worked, even though Rizraz angled that time. Very well played from Todd. Great job. That default cam, thanks Monkey for pointing that out. The default camera was actually up that whole time. Really unfortunate for Mindfreak. You can't miss those default cams.
Yeah, you certainly can't. Like, it's, as some would say, it's such a default thing to do. You really need to take.
Thanks, guy.
You really need to take those cameras down, and they get punished for that. Nevertheless, here that's been, I want to say, 3 rounds in a row now that Mindfreak has lost a man first up.
Yeah, and it's not good. They need to fix that. They need to. I mean, like, you can't really have a go at someone for getting run out on it, since Rizraz was holding the angle. But I mean, Todd's been doing some great work, and they really need to shut him down.
100%.
Looks like we're going to see some nades from Magnet potentially coming out over there. Perhaps some concussion mines from Kings. There's actually the player inside of Archives has dropped down, but of course, Archives not being the site, it's not such a big deal. Magnet is going to be throwing that nade out potentially, but if Aces has droned it, he'll call out there's no one there. And there you go. Aces has, I don't know why he wasted a frag and why he got flashed, but alright. Sure thing, Mindfreak.
Certainly. Mindfreak are looking a little bit out of it at the moment. They really need to get this upstairs control quickly. They've only got a minute on the clock, which is not enough to really get upstairs control and then plant. They need to really just 2x speed everything. They need to push, which is not what they're doing. They're holding angles at the minute. Finally, it looks like Sophia will be entering upstairs here. And Aces actually manages to find Emo in. We've still got, I believe, Todd upstairs. Not anymore as he gets found by Kings. And already, Mindfreak seem to be pulling themselves back into this round.
Still only 37 seconds to go, and with this, what is it, a 4 versus 3, this is not the position you want to be in going into this attack, but I know how Mindfreak take this from here, and I've seen them do this incredibly effectively, going for a B plant from this position, and I do believe that they can make this work. Look at this, 20 seconds, they've got to do this, and they've got to do it. Lusty's going to be designated planter, he's going to be jumping in, and if the defenders can deny this first plant, that could be the win for them.
Yes, certainly, however, nice kill there. Out of Kings to even to a 4v2. Silex is running in. He's going to deny this plant. He takes the player, not the planter, though. It's a 2v1. It's all on Aces and Magnet here. Magnet's actually a one-hit. This is doable for Neo.
No way. Aces has this from above. There's no way that Neo can get this unless he does a fantastic flick onto Aces. But Aces has the advantage of these holes above, and of course a second player in Magnet. Even if Neo finds his first one, he's got to find a second one and go for the plant. And look at this, the runner is going to expose him in a second. You're going to know exactly where he is. And pre-fire from Magnet cleans up Neophyter. And that's the second round into MF. And successful attack onto the vents.
So yeah, if Dizzle's sitting in the Discord channel with Mindfreak at the moment, he really needs to be, obviously he's going to be most likely on the stream, he needs to be saying, guys, you need to stop those early aggressions. You can't get picked up at the start. Sure, you won, but like you can't continue going like that.
Yes, absolutely. Now we're going to be seeing a Mindfreak head onto their secondary bomb site defense. It's going to be very typical Vents and Workshop. Honestly, on this map, on Border, it's definitely the most common site that we see picked as a secondary. However, both Tellers and particularly, of course, Customs are regarded as defendable bomb sites, even if it's just as a pocket strat. But I think, from my perspective, if Mindfreak does have any pocket strats, they won't be pulling them out for the ANZ Cup, they'll be pulling them out for the Invitational.
Yeah, 100%. That's something else we should have touched on a bit earlier. Obviously, Mindfreak being in the R6 Invitational, they're probably not going to want to be sort of showing what they fully are. They want to keep a lot of those strats secret. Because obviously, would you rather win the ANZ Cup or would you rather win the Invitational? Probably the
Yep.
Invitational.
I mean, a lot of people are taking for granted that Mindfreak are going to be a dominant force in this cup, but it's possible that that could actually hinder them in their progress going forward. The fact that they're concerned about revealing some strats, and not only that, but due to them being out of the country, they'll actually be having 2 of their games on one night in one of the coming weeks. And that could affect their stamina and all these kinds of things. So it's possible that perhaps people's confidence in Mindfreak going into the ANZ Cup is maybe not quite. Not quite all factors have been addressed.
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility, 100% here. But again, we don't see the first pick so far for Athletico onto Mindfreak, which has been generally in the first 30 seconds. Not the case here. But still, again, 30 seconds isn't all that much. Or actually, I shouldn't say that. 30 seconds is a lot in the grand scheme of things. A lot of time. But the first 30 seconds of the round, you can't be expecting for too much to happen.
As you can see, we do have quite a lot of Mindfreak defenders actually still being up top. And as Atletico drone this out, they're going to actually getting some serious pushing power on. We've actually seen Zofia once again brought out. Both of these teams enjoy bringing a Zofia. And yeah, I mean, I quite like what we're seeing. And obviously, Neo doing this drop and fantastic placement there. Riz actually gets the kill there onto Neo with a great placement of that LM line.
Yeah, really nice stuff. Again, Rizraz getting flashed out here. Ooh, Lusty taking down Todd. Beautiful stuff from him. They just need to back off at the moment. Maybe keep one man upstairs, but they can't be hard holding it for too much longer. Emo going for the warbang here. That's not going to happen. And we have now reached the halfway point of round number 4, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
that's insane. I don't even know where that was from.
You really can't underestimate all of the angles that you can get from below onto those hatches, and that's really putting Mindfreak in an even stronger position now heading into this round. Could this be a successful defense onto Vents? That's exactly what Mindfreak need to take the lead and prevent this from just being trade after trade. And with all of the roamers still upstairs, this is not looking good for Atletico. They have a minute, but there's only 2 members up, and there are 5 members to find.
Yeah, and Aces was very low earlier in the round. However, over the last little bit, he has actually been reset, which just doesn't help Atletico at all. They need every single last point of health off of Mindfreak for them to be able to win this.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it now. They aren't going to, especially with 35 seconds.
Yeah, and look at that. We have 2 upstairs getting very aggressive, making themselves known. Silex does manage to take down Aces. That is the mirror inside of the site, but we still have 2 potentially on the flank. And of course, Lusty on that Jaeger holding a very tight angle, which he has been doing so well so far. And look at this. He's about to run straight into Magnet, I believe. Magnet finds one. Magnet doesn't find the second one. Derper pulls the pistol. 12 seconds to go. He's got 3 frags to find. This pistol has not enough. And Lusty cleans up Derper and puts it in a 3-1 lead for Mindfreak.
Yeah, Mindfreak had a pretty slow start to the match, but now they're certainly getting fired up. They're getting back into things. Really nice stuff from them. See here. Again, we see Atletico going back upstairs as it's now re-unlocked for them. I believe that was where they won first up.
Yep, absolutely. Atletico were very successful in this one. They managed to get an early pick from Todd, which has managed to do 2 defense rounds in a row. I think if Todd doesn't manage to get an early pick by doing some cheeky cams, then it's going to be the first round. He hasn't done that so far. And Mindfreak really have to deny that. If Todd tries it for a 3rd time in a row, Mindfreak have to get a kill off it.
Yeah, you'd certainly have to expect them to be expecting that. Like, if they lose, if they get picked off by some cheeky run out or something like that, they deserve to lose this round straight up. Like,
absolutely,
it's just stupid at that stage. Anyway, nevertheless, we have Lusty loading in a little bit slower than normal, but here we go. We have finally loaded on in here, and yeah, it'll be Atletico defending upstairs.
Yeah. I mean, not too much to say about this one. Once again, we're seeing the Zofia brought out. Wow, Riz losing his drone so early. Nice little bit of pre-fire from Silex. Yeah, losing your drone early, don't underestimate how much that can affect your round, particularly if you set up, particular teammates having particular pre-placed drone spots. If you rely on that and that gets taken out from you so early, then it shifts everything, and it makes it very difficult talking a little bit about the operators, it's the Zephyr we're seeing once again. I think we've seen a Zephyr in every single round from both of these teams.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Atlanta was really Rizraz who was manning that Zephyr. That's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
the case here at all. It's actually Kings, which is really interesting that they've changed their playstyle a little bit.
Yeah, obviously the difference between Ashe and Zephyr is that Ashe is a 3-speed. Zephyr has slightly more utility in the case of those concussion mines, but it's kind of equivalent to the fact that Ashe has stun grenades. So I mean, it's funny seeing that they have switched that. Obviously, it used to be Kings on the Ashe, but perhaps they're expecting that Rizraz is the one who's going to be primarily doing those fast rushes and needs that extra, 10% speed boost, being a 3-speed operator.
Yeah, everyone knows obviously the Rizraz and Kings duo. But then generally they roam together. Or do they roam together? I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah, they're fraggers. So whether it's roaming or defense. Attack. Magnet actually finds a first kill onto Todd. Now that's significant. Todd, this is, like I was saying, the first round Todd hasn't gotten a cheeky early peak. And Magnet denying that is, yeah, on defensive round. And so Magnet denying that is really a good start for Mindfreak. I definitely feel like it was kind of a reality check for them. First 2 rounds, when they were losing to Atletico, it was, it's like something had to click for them. To kind of be like, all right, sorry, okay, we're not, gods. We can't just go through and, steamroll this. We have to do this properly and play it by the book. And now it looks like they're playing their game, and Magnet gets taken down by Silex. Fantastic pick. That's going to deny any more of the vertical play from Buck.
Yeah, certainly. Still decent chunk of time, 1 minute 20 seconds on the clock. That's, again, don't get me wrong, it's not a heap of time, but it's certainly a decent chunk to get stuff done. And again, Rizraz has been tagged up pretty heavy, so that could be an issue. Oh, he's looking up in the same area. He's going to get killed by Silex. 2 people from the same spot. He does pop the mirror, so that's at least something, but is it going to be enough?
It's not worth it. You lose a player for a mirror. Oh, but their Lusty finds the head of Silex, and that's Silex's reign of terror at an end. Only a 2k for him. 3 versus 3. Lusty pulls it back to an equivalent for his team. Kings is going to be pushing from opposite side, but it looks like the main planting of this push is going to come from Lusty and Aces, and it looks like Kings has actually rotated. Put all of your strength in one position so that you can brute force the site. Flash is coming out. Even Emo's getting flashed here. The concussion mine's coming out. The plant is looking at it. Looks like we're going to see Mindfreak force their way in. Oh, nice shot. Aces finds Derpa, but meanwhile, Neophyter trades him out. All up to Kings here. Lusty has been down 20 seconds. He can revive his mate here, and that's exactly what they're going to go for. Kings
Emo's
and
catching
Lusty.
on to this though.
Oh, no!
Oh, Lusty saves it once again. Lusty is a master at saving those last second. Every single time he comes in clutch.
That was fantastic. A really good read there from Emo, but fantastic. Oh my goodness. Lusty is absolutely nutty. Showing on Hibana, it's the perfect role for him. The number of Hibana clutches he was getting at the Invitational, oh my goodness.
Yeah, Lusty is absolutely insane when he's playing Phenomenal. Anyone is when you're playing Phenomenal, but moving forward.
And look at this.
Yep,
4-1. Mindfreak have actually won their attack onto the upstairs, and that's something that we wouldn't expect. I mean, Atletico won their first defensive upstairs, and they've lost their second one here, putting it into match point. This isn't a 5-0 by any means, but I mean, it's kind of a 4-0 if you think about it. Atletico won their first round, and then Mindfreak have just steamrolled it from there.
Yeah, certainly. I was going to mention this about halfway through last round, but then Silex went a bit nutty and I started eating my own words. But do you think that possibly Atletico winning that first round with so much force is playing against them in this situation? Do you think that maybe they got a bit too confident after that first round?
Honestly, I feel like it wasn't really Atletico's fault in that confidence. I think it came down to the fact that Mindfreak hadn't really warmed up and they got punished. Now, having a look here, we are actually having Lusty playing the Jackal. Sorry, the Vigil, rather, not Jackal. This is obviously the new operator. Not many people who actually brought in. He's going to be bringing the Boss G and the SMG-12, faking out a spawn peak by impacting tellers there. Nice little cheeky move. And as you can see, we're also seeing a Dockerby. Is this some kind of like crazy pact that we've seen? Both of these teams are like, let's bring in the new operators on the same round.
Yeah, might be the case, but we'll soon find out. Honestly, I sort of like this from Lusty. I think He needs to play this shotgun smart though. He can't be relying on it. He
Yeah.
needs to know when to swap over to that SMG 12. Because again, in my opinion, the Vigil's primary, in my opinion, isn't that great. Sure, it's a gun and it's got a high fire rate. It's nothing close to Elder's gun, that's for sure. But
No.
if you've got that secondary, use it smart. You know when to swap off your shoddy. Then I think you'll do all right.
Yeah, honestly, you've got to treat that SMG-12 as if you can't hold it down. It's going to go everywhere, especially since you can't get a muzzle for it, a muzzle attachment, as it has an inbuilt suppressor. But this shotgun, I feel like people, when it got released, really screamed loudly about this shotgun. They said it's going to be ridiculous. It can one hit, so many people, one hit down so many people. But honestly, I don't think the shotgun is that great. I suspect that one of the main reasons Lusty brought it is to open up hatches and maybe to get a cheeky kill, because of course, one slug can get a kill with that one, even not to the head. We've got some damage trading out here between aces and the players inside CCTV. As we can see, the aggressive mirror on the armory wall allows you to get lots of angles towards CCTV, but we're going to see some nading coming out. Aces having to fall back.
The bandit's coming over. Nope, he's not going to bandit trick. Now that C4 might find someone. It does. It finds Emo, and I like doing this. I like when they get that right side. Oh my god, Rizraz finds one as well. Silex is going to take down Kings. Todd takes down one, and again Lusty goes in with this shotgun.
You can't use that, Lusty.
Or can you?
Finds one.
Or can you?
Oh no!
Lusty changes everything, but I thought that was a warmang from Neo. Nevertheless, it is really, really closely contested at the moment.
It's at 2 versus 1 right now. Lusty's in such a good position. All you have to do is just wait, and Neo is going to be trying to get these. Lusty gets excellent use, fantastic work, Neo. Excellent use of that utility. As you can see, Lusty could not have heard anything then. Now it's a 1 versus 1. Magnet versus Neo. These are both incredibly strong players. Neo's going to make the most of his utility, and Magnet does not have the mirror on his side.
Yeah, this is really when I want to see Magnet use the shotgun, to be honest. Again, we see Neo here running through the smoke. Is he going to expect this? Oh, he finds his head!
No!
Oh,
Neo
no.
fighter for the clutch. 1 versus 2. Fantastic job. And that keeps Atletico in the game as we take it to 4. Ooh.
Phenomenal stuff from Atletico there. Yeah, Mindfreak probably should have won that round. A bit of potato from both teams there. It was a bit back and forth towards the middle of the round. But in the end, Atletico managed to just clutch it by a teeny bit. And also, Lusty was in the hallway at one stage, but he decided to come back into CCTV where he met his demise. If he had just backed off, maybe that round would have been won by Mindfreak.
Yeah, honestly, Lusty went absolutely crazy, and winning that from his perspective, that they didn't manage to actually lock out the round despite his excellent flank. I just want to point out, he did use both of the slugs in his shotgun and miss, and that's why high fire rate is trump damage in this game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, completely agree. Again, Mindfreak here running out upstairs once again. Atletico going here, I don't blame them. They were successful the first time. They were almost successful the second time. So if they just sort of improve on why they lost the second time, they probably should have a decent chance of winning this round here.
Yeah, well, that's the first, that just round gone, is the first round that Atletico have actually won in 4 rounds. And so, first round went to Atletico with number 4 for Mindfreak. Now we're seeing one again to Atletico. Is this